Hey, we always live Elvis.
Teresa.
Hey, y'all, hope everybody's doing good. Once again, hump day.
Wow, already?
Already Wednesday, can you believe it?
Golly,
And guess what,
man.
y'all? 3 or 4 more days worth of storms. There's a lot of people in the path of these, so y'all be safe. Stay weather alert.
Yes.
And let's just all do the best we can,
And let's
y'all.
hope this is the last round of this jump.
Man, I hope so.
I do too.
Today, y'all, we're going to start off with our norm. Got prayers going out to Lisa for Rick and their family. Our prayers are with y'all. Teresa's got
Yes.
some birthdays and shout outs.
Okay, so I have 2 anniversaries. Happy anniversary, Steve and EP Fan for Life, and Ev and Julie. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Okay, we got a shout out to Margaret Noble from England, Rock Smith, 37, and John Bull, 14. Glad y'all are enjoying our show and watching us.
We appreciate all of your support. Y'all,
I haven't done the birthdays yet.
oh, you got me. Okay, yeah, no, well, here we go with the birthdays. Teresa's.
Okay, this is some. I have had more, but I'm gonna, cull them down so it's not such a long list. So
we're gonna
I'll
spread
do
them
more
out.
tomorrow and the next day. Okay, happy birthday to Beverly Mullinex, Debbie Derlick, Kelly, Vicky, Danny Sosa, Crystal McMahon, Sue Francis, happy heavenly birthday, Kyle Scott, Matthias Larson, and Martha. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to each and every one of y'all. And y'all, while I got it on my mind, because it's aggravating me, I really wasn't going to say anything about it. But you know what? Y'all know me, and I've got to. Had only one or two that's kind of, I guess, don't care for the way me and Teresa do our channel as far as birthdays, prayers, and shout outs.
I don't worry about that.
Well, I do. And let me tell you, the reason we do that is for y'all, because y'all should be acknowledged.
And you're our family.
That's right. We are an Elvis family.
Right.
And I don't mean to be ugly or whatever, but the last time I checked, this was mine and Teresa's channel. We do our stories. We do talk about Elvis. But we are going to acknowledge and say things to our Elvis family. That's just the way it is. Now, with that being said, y'all, today's a little different. Other things that I've had on my mind, and I told Teresa, I said, I want to shoot today's video a little different. So, y'all, again, you hear so much about the past. I've heard people, wanting to take credit for, Elvis week and for during the birthday time and blah blah blah. Let me tell you who started, and it wasn't called Elvis week back then. I've talked about this a little before. It basically started over a weekend, long weekends, and then it just grew from there. But who actually started that is each and every one of you, and probably a lot of y'all younger ones, your families, your mothers and fathers, maybe your grandmother and granddaddies, the Elvis fans, which we call our Elvis family. Y'all started all that. Y'all created what it is today. So I want to get that straight. A lot of people can do and say what they want to. I was there, and I remember the very first one, and I remember from those all, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Is how great they was. Not that they're not great today, but there's a big difference, and with some of the things I'm saying, I would love to see some of it come back. But you had a lot of your pretty local Elvis fan clubs. They held Elvis conventions at big hotels. One of them was the Travel Lodge. Used to be over by the airport. Always for years had a big convention, and these conventions, it was fun. I mean, they had dances, Elvis dances, meets and greets, uh, you know, anything and everything Elvis, just contests. I mean, it was.
I remember you telling me something about some of the, I guess the motels or hotels where they would decorate their windows during that time.
Yes, I was getting into that.
Okay.
Yeah, on Brooks Road, you had several. Days Inn was probably, you had several hotels right there together. They've changed names, since then, but the Days Inn was probably the go-to spot during those days, and they had the downstairs, and then it was an upstairs, and all the patios. The railing was on the inside. It was kind of like a U, and had a swimming pool in the middle. But that's what I'm saying. I'd kind of like to see things come back. Every door was opened, day and night, pretty much. I mean, now folks, when they got out and visited Grace and stuff, they'd always come back, open their door. But fans made anything and everything that you could possibly think of Elvis. I mean, I have seen it all, and very, very good stuff, handmade, a lot of it. And they would, of course, sell, buy, trade, swap, and it was just, and everybody met there. And of course, the Days Inn would have guest speakers. They did everybody decorated their room in an Elvis theme.
Oh, it was a whole room?
Well, it was like the door, and they had big windows.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
The doors were like,
yeah, the door, and then every room had a big window, and they would decorate that an Elvis theme. And they had judges. Me and Daddy was a judge one year. Man, you couldn't imagine how creative some of these folks were. I mean, they got creative, and there was some a beautiful. I guess you'd call them just on the wall, pictures and a theme. I know.
Like maybe one would be.
I remember the year. Just to give you an example, the year me and Daddy judged it. One of them I remember very well had a Blue Christmas. I think they won it. And then another one that placed did Elvis and the Army days and had all the get up. And actually, that was another good friend of mine, Alice Peterson. Hey, Alice,
Hi,
if you're watching. But they just, I mean. They and everybody had so much fun, and it would go on, I mean, all day, pretty much all night. Anybody and everybody that was back then would tell you for that long weekend when it first started, there was very little sleep. But who needed sleep?
What's cool is something like that didn't really cost money.
Huh?
I said, what's cool about that? It doesn't really cost money.
That didn't cost.
You get with your friends who are staying in the same hotel.
Right. Well, people from other hotels would visit. Now, and I can't remember if it was called a Ramada Inn or what. So down from it, they're still actually open today. I don't know if they got the same name, but a lot of y'all may know it. That's where Keith Alverson sets up every year. And they had it there too, inside, but not quite like Days Inn, but. Like I said, they call it what you want to, a convention, festival, but that's how all that got started. And then, I mean, the faces and the laughter and the stories and the fun, it's still there today, but to me, not the same it could be. Of course, we've talked about, later, this is later than Graceland did, they put up the tent and it got into it, and then, it turned into a week thing. And by no means am I knocking, Priscilla, Graceland, anybody, because they did add on to it. They stopped a lot of the things that I don't think should have been stopped.
Because at that time, it didn't cost to go to the tent.
Right.
It was across the street from Graceland in that parking lot.
Right.
Yeah, and that was nice.
But they did help, but they did not start.
Right.
Elvis
Week.
Yeah, if you want to say. Yeah. Like I said, back then it wasn't called Elvis Week, but the fans created that, and they come every year, and still a lot. It's the same now, and it's grown. I guess my point of today is I kind of wanted to share, and this memories for the older ones that remember. I mean, I grew up with Elvis Presley, and then after, I mean, my whole life, you know, talking about that's what my whole life was about. Mm-hmm. It always will be, and it just, you know, it like I said, it just is spinning. I mean, so many good times. You know, Elvis movies playing, Elvis music playing. You know, you met somebody new every year, and y'all, I'm not just talking. I'm talking to the world, because there was folks from so many countries that would come and get on this. You know, we met a lot. Our friend Ethan Hendricks from Belgium, he come for years and years, and you know, he become friends with our family, and like a lot of you. And I mean, what can I say? Those were the days, and you know, I don't know if we'll ever see it different. You know, John Daly does a great Elvis convention now. You know, in the area he's in, it's a good setup. I'm sure if he, you know, if he had places and he could get bigger, he would, and it would be, you know, better, I guess you could say. But once again, he does a fantastic job. But I would love to see some more of that. And you know, I mean, to me, you know, Elvis is always going to make money, and Grace is going. I mean, just my opinion, but what did it hurt? And you had so many beautiful things made by people, and they traded, and yeah, they sold and they swapped, but who cares? Yeah. And there was so many different things. I mean, I just didn't see the harm in it, but you know, legally and this and that, and then so be it. But yeah. I would love to see today lighten up a little and just become back.
Kind of go back to those times.
And kind of be a little more free and open for all of you. Because once again, y'all, I've said it and I'll say it till the day I die. There would be no Elvis Presley. There would be no Graceland. There would be nothing if it wasn't for y'all.
That's right.
You know, so even though I got a little hair on my head,
I gotta shave you.
I'm taking my hat off to each and one of y'all. And y'all, I just like I said, it was just something that was on my chest, and I wanted to share with y'all. Y'all, stay tuned for tomorrow. We have got some really, really great questions. Just to give you a little hint, a Priscilla question, an Ann Margaret question, several good questions about Elvis. So y'all be looking forward to tomorrow's video too. And like I said, y'all take care. Watch these storms, and we'll see you tomorrow evening. And remember, we always live Elvis.